to Antamarino Stadium, tonight's site of the WPIAL Class 2A Section 1 battle between the South Fayette Lions and the Gateway Gators. I'm Nathan Brysinger, pleased to be on the call here on Gateway Gator Productions as the Lions, undefeated, leading Section 1 in Class 2A, looking to make another deep run in the WPIAL postseason, and the Gateway Gators looking for their first win on the season, sitting at 0-9, both overall and in conference play. The Lions, led by seventh-year head coach Sean Leidig, has taken his team to back-to-back WPIAL championship appearances, falling short in both of those to the Mars Fighting Planets, as they look to carry that momentum from this season. An outstanding one so far at 14-0, 8-0 in section play against the Gateway Gators. Again, looking for their first win of the season overall, coming off of a loss to St. LaSalle in conference play. And before that, Trinity 22-9. 9 goals, the highest output for the Gators this season, led by Dan Alexander. As the two teams get ready at midfield. In goal tonight for the Gators, number 25, Max Goss, the junior keeper. Typically backing him up, Torrin Ray, number 23 for the Gators. He'll be out on attack tonight. Gators down a couple of players, so Ray's services will be used on attack. And in goal for the Lions, number 28, Travis Watkins, the senior keeper, posting a 14-0 perfect record in the cage for the Lions so far this year, as South Fayette wins the opening draw, and we are underway from Antamarino Stadium in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Quick opportunity, Goss save, point blank stop there off a quick shot from Ryan. May was in close, looking to get things rolling for the Lions early. That one back in front, and there the Lions do score. Braden Rygard gets the opening goal for South Fayette.
Number 34, Brandon, make that Braden Rygard.
Not even a minute into this game, and the Lions are on the board. Braden Rygard just got a nice feed from behind the cage. Deposits into the back of the goal behind Max Goss. Lions another draw win, face-off win, and a quick shot coming from Bryce Watkins, the sophomore midfielder. Goes high over the cage, over Goss. Gateway in the white jerseys and shorts, black lettering. South Fayette moving right to left in the green jerseys, white numbering on the back. White shorts with the green trim. Gators trying to force a turnover on the Lions, a team that really likes to move the ball around, and there's a shot and score from Ryan May.
Number 26, Ryan May.
As we were just talking about it, South Fayette really good at moving that ball around. And for the second straight goal for the Lions, moving that ball from behind the cage out in front. First it was Rygard, and then Ryan May with that second goal for the Lions. South Fayette atop Section 1 in Class 2A. Right behind them, Peters Township with an 8-6, and there's another quick one right off the face-off. South Fayette
Watkins.
not slowing down by any means. Bryce Watkins, the one with this goal for the Lions. Just 12 seconds apart between the Ryan May goal and the Bryce Watkins goal, and it is quickly 3-0 Lions. A South Fayette team that has scored 14.8 goals overall this year, averaging 16 goals in section play. For the Gators, they allow 18.6 goals. South Fayette getting some help in that face-off circle. Able to come up with the draw win. Shot in. That one hit his stick on the way in.
Oh, he hit the post.
Another opportunity. Quick in front and tucked in. Max Joseph right on top of Max Goss.
Max Joseph.
Able to put it into the back of the net, and the Lions up 4-0. So not even 2 minutes into this game, and the Lions off to a scorching 4-0 start. South Fayette coming off of a 15-1 victory against Franklin Regional, in which Drew Walhorski, who's been unbelievable this year for South Fayette, who hasn't even gotten on the scoreboard just yet. We'll hear a lot from him, who surpassed 300 career points on the year. Another one in front. Rygaard again. He'll score.
Goal for number 34, Braden Rygaard. That's his second goal of the game.
Rygaard, his second tally of the contest so far. He's coming off of that Franklin Regional contest in which he scored 7 goals. So Rygaard coming into this contest, 37 overall goals on the season, now up to 39. Bumps his point total to 43 points on the year. In quick fashion, another face-off win. Quick up, sails past Max Goss. Could not reach the intended target off that face-off draw win. Braden Tiley with it, trying to move it up. Tiley coming into this one had won 29 of 53 face-offs, 54.7% in the circle. So the Gators with the ball now, looking to clear it across and get their first offensive possession of the evening. Those offensive possessions have been few and far between for the Gators this year, and Gateway been rather efficient offensively. You know, when talking to the coaching staff and Coach Alexander, so I've been pretty pleased with the offense this year of when they can get the opportunities. As you see a ground ball battle here, scooped up though by the Lions. Luca Romanelli coming away with that for South Fayette. Still working with it and drops it off finally to Daniel Specca. Now underneath, back in front, Rygaard again. Braden Rygaard.
Braden Rygaard.
With his third of the game, a quick hat trick to make it 6-0 South Fayette. Gateway, it's been back-to-back games that they've allowed 22 goals, or rather before that Seton LaSalle game, they allowed back-to-back games of 22 goals against Trinity and Peters Township. As I mentioned, Trinity, most goals scored this year for the Gators with 9. In that game, Maddox Steele had 4 goals and assist. Bo Ritson with a pair of goals, and Jacob Williams with a hat trick and 2 assists. Jacob Williams, one of the top offensive producers for Gateway, ineligible for this game. So a big miss on offense for the Gators. as Gateway looks to move it across midfield. That pass easily picked off right around midfield by Drew Wahorski. Wahorski, quick pass over to Bryce Watkins. He couldn't one-touch it into the back of the net. Max Goss came out to challenge it. Try to put some pressure on that pass. Wahorski comes into this game with 46 goals on the year, 50 assists for 96 total points. But so far in this game, he's moved the ball around. Wahorski, also the quarterback of the South Fayette football team. Gators try to air it out downfield. Going after it and couldn't corral it in was number 13, Maddox Steele, one of the top producers for the Gators. South Fayette, a team looking to contend once again for a WPIAL title. Came up short the last 2 seasons. Both losses against Mars. Here's an opportunity while Wahorski flicks it into the back of the net for his first goal of the game.
Drew Wahorski. Timeout.
Makar just with a good pass right inside to Wahorski. And he scores for his first of the game for the Lions. Lions up 7-0 against Gateway. We'll take a break as they do on the field here on Gateway Gator Productions. South Fayette off to a 7-0 lead over the Gateway Gators. We take a look at some of the goals from the Lions, producing all around. Drew Wahorski with the goal most recently for the Lions. You see that right there, getting that pass inside and just putting it in behind Max Goss. But Braden Rygard with the early hat trick. Max Joseph, Bryce Williams, and Ryan May all involved in the goal column so far. Here's a shot from well off. I believe that hit Colin Ireland on the way and bounced way out. That shot from Bryce Watkins, the younger brother of goalkeeper Travis Watkins. Down in the back end, number 28 for South Fayette has yet to see a shot. That opportunity goes wide from South Fayette. Ball over the end line is going to go to Gateway here. Colin Ireland, the long stick defender, trying to push it upfield for Gateway. Carl Jackson, two-way player for the Gators. Real well-rounded kid for Gateway. Gets a shot on net, stopped down low by Watkins. So first opportunity on goal for Gateway here. Carl Jackson leading the charge. Just a quick flick of the wrist towards the net. But a flag came in on the back end of things. So I believe here, Gateway's gonna go player up.
Gators.
It's number 16 for South Fayette, as you see on your screen, Luca Romanelli off to the box for South Fayette. So Gateway looking for their first goal of the contest and they get a prime opportunity player up. Steele working behind the cage for Gateway. It's Bo Ritson, talented freshman for Gateway. Ritson gets it back on that far side. Down low to Steele. He turns and shoots. Might have grazed off the side of the cage, but goes out of bounds, and the last one there is South Fayette, so they'll take over. Big run down there from Carter DeWitt. You see here, Ritson goes to Steele. Not sure if Watkins got a piece of it or not, but that ball ran down by South Fayette. As Romanelli still remains off to the side, so South Fayette looking to kill off the rest of this disadvantage right now. The far sideline while Horsky just holds on to it. South Fayette came out running. 7-0 they lead. Nathan Breisinger here on the call on Gateway Gator Productions. Shot well out from Rygard, goes wide. South Fayette back to full strength now. Bryce Watkins with the green stick head moves it along up top to Daniel Specka. Specka 22 goals on the year for the junior. Now Walhorski. Walhorski gives it down low. Now over top. Shot in on the goal. Might have hit something on the way in. That shot from May. Now he gets it back, underhands it. Goss with the save, watches it into his stick. Excellent stop there by Max Goss.
Max Goss.
Gators then turn it back over. Quickly ahead while Horsky rolls it into the net. What a shifty goal by Walhorski. Gets that pass looking backwards. Then right on top of the goal crease, goes underhand with it for his second of the game. You see that feed come in from Bryce Watkins.
Drew Walhorski.
South Fayette now up 8-0. 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. South Fayette quickly off the draw again while Horsky on that far side fakes the shot, jumps back, gives it off to Pierce Hondrew, and he scores the jump shot. Hondrew's 12th of the year.
That looks like number 6. Pierce
Hondrew, you can see there, just through that defense, gets it. Shot from pretty well out for Pierce Hondrew. His first of the game. Coming off of that nice pass there by Walhorski. So Walhorski continues to get it done all over the offensive side of the field. Distributing the ball and putting it into the back of the net. Carl Jackson trying to win a face-off for the Gators, unable to do so against number 22, but Gators trying to force a turnover on Braden Tiley. Walhorski now in front, wide open. For a moment was Daniel Specka. He picks up the loose ball and gets another chance, bouncing it over Goss in the net. Ball now with the Gators. That's Specka's shot. Gators the last one's back. Provides them another opportunity here, trying to clear the ball across midfield. Ryan Cruz running with it on the far sideline, but turns it over. Referee right in front of that play. Cruz just weaned out of bounds. causes the turnover. Opportunity in front, Goss with the save. How about that stop from Max Goss? Max Joseph got in tight with the opportunity. But Goss with that stick save up high. You take another look here. Just a good feed in towards Joseph. He gets around his defender, Colin Ireland. And Goss just watches it all the way in for a good save. But now the Lions continue back their attack. Bryce Watkins right in front. Fires it wide. Gonna count as a shot towards the net. So Horsky on that far sideline gets it for the Lions. 3:10 to go here in the first quarter of play. Antamarino Field. Class 2A, Section 1 matchup between South Fayette and Gateway. Joseph with it near sideline. Off to Specca. He spins away, tries to get it through 3 guys, and a big hit comes in from the Gator defender, Chase Gabriel. But a flag comes in with that. Specca just trying to get through. Gabriel gonna get the call.
Man up, Lions.
So South Fayette will go man up. South Fayette coming off of a season in which they went 21-3, and last year in this matchup between the two, shut out the Gators 24-0. So far off to a real strong start, up 9-0 in this one. Player up advantage for the Lions, looking to reach the double-digit plateau here in the first quarter. Swift ball movement from the Lions around the outside of the Gators defense. Specca with it. He goes back to Ryan May. May down low, tries a quick pass up top now to Rygard. Here's a shot opportunity from Makar, and he scores.
Lions. Number 3.
Jack Makar
Makar.
finishes it off for South Fayette. For the player up goal. With 2:10 to go here in the first quarter of play. South Fayette leaders of Section 1 and the 2A classification in the WPIAL. Another quick opportunity shot and score from Pierce Hondrew right off the faceoff. Hondrew, one of the best faceoff specialists in the WPIAL, coming into this game winning 88.2% of his faceoffs. He takes that one, runs it all the way in for his second of the game. As I was talking, the Lions, top team in the section, last season went 21-3, won their first 2 playoff games, and then went into the championship against Mars, one of the premier WPIAL teams year after year. Lost 16-5 in the championship game at Joe Walton Stadium on the campus of Robert Morris University, and then went into the state playoffs, beat Cathedral Prep, beat Trinity 10-9, 1-goal game, and then once again had to see Mars in the semis. Lost 20-10 in that game. So South Fayette lost to the Fighting Planets in the championship game of the WPIAL, and then their season ended in the States as this one shot in by Daniel Specca to make it 12-zip.
Dan Specca.
So South Fayette just looking to continue on their dominant run in the WPIAL over the past couple of years, getting to those back-to-back WPIAL championship games. The WPIAL playoffs for both boys and girls starts. The flag comes in. Will be on Gateway. Those playoffs start on May 12th. The championship games will be at a new venue this year at Upper St. Clair, May 21st and the 22nd. Whistle comes in here with 1:08 left here in the first quarter of play. As that penalty finally called. It's number 10, Dylan Graham, the freshman for the Gators. So another player up opportunity for South Fayette. South Fayette moving it around. It's Specka. Well, Horsky trying to get a shot off. Hit something, I believe, on the way in. Number 39, Chase Gabriel, was in the area for Gateway. As we take another look, well, Horsky letting that one go. Actually hits number 2, Ryan Cruz, on the way in. Specka this time from the back end, Ireland able to dislodge it for a moment. Still after it, the Lions. Back inside. Behind the back goes Rygaard, but can't get it to go. Rolls into the soccer net down beyond the end zone. South Fayette, though, the last one's back with this number advantage here. Up top, oh, Horsky, he fires and scores.
Goal.
Drew Horsky with his hat trick.
Like number 2, Drew Horsky.
So 22 seconds left in this first quarter. South Fayette up 13-0, while Horsky with the hat trick. Took a little bit to get him going, at least in terms of scoring goals in this one. But no stranger to that, obviously, up to 49 goals on the year. One of the top all-around players in the entire district. Points in every single game this year. Extends his scoring streak to 10 games in a row now. Open up the season with an absolutely dominant 6-goal, 11-point performance against Central Catholic. That shot in from Braden Tiley. So Tiley able to beat the buzzer with 5.3 to go here in the first quarter. It is 14-0 Lions. Final face-off of the quarter. Scooped up there initially by Princeton White, but South Fayette able to get it. However, the quarter comes to an end as South Fayette takes a commanding 14-0 lead into the second quarter over Gateway. We'll be back in a moment here on Gateway Gator Productions for the start of the second quarter. Welcome back to Antamarino Field here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, Gateway High School. Take a look at some of our upcoming broadcasts today. Boys lacrosse, obviously, right now against South Fayette, but boys volleyball will take on Fox Chapel this Thursday, May 8th. And then graduation coming up for the class of 2025 on Tuesday, June 3rd. So stay tuned here on Gateway Gator Productions for those broadcasts. But right now, it's the boys lacrosse team for the Gators, trailing 14-0 after one quarter of play here. South Fayette, the top team in Section 1 of the AA classification in the WPIAL. The only remaining team without a loss in the entire district. They're trying to end the regular season on a perfect note. They play Greensburg Central Catholic on Wednesday at 8 p.m. South Fayette off. The opening face-off pass goes well awry from number 33, John Orovex. So Gateway off the opening face-off. Benefits from a turnover as they look to sky it down the field. But ball goes out of bounds. Looks like it'll go South Fayette's way. Was a push in the back. Looked like it came in from Cooper Hillebrand on that far side, but nothing called. So ball does go Lions' way. They'll get another quick opportunity at it. And a quick chance inside. Max Goss looked to challenge, but South Fayette scores nonetheless. Makar again.
Jack Makar.
You see there that quick feed. Makar was all alone. Goss just tried to get out there to make it as challenging as possible. Put the body on as well. Trying to do whatever he could. But Makar bounced off of him and had a yawning cage to put that ball into to make it 15-0 South Fayette. Another face-off win for John Orovex. Came into this game with just 3 opportunities at face-off, so getting plenty of work in, as will many of the lines here. We see that opportunity again from Orovex off that face-off, and then that ball just getting dislodged from the backside by Chase Gabriel, who's been pretty active so far this game. The senior defender stands at 6'1". South Fayette slowing it down. Luca Romanelli gives it off to number 17, Max Joseph, for the Lions. Joseph with a goal already today. His 8th of the year, 15th overall point. Pass goes inside, finding it open. Nathaniel Keller with the goal.
Lions. Nathaniel Keller.
Keller, his 3rd, the sophomore. Finding the back of the net. Off the great feed, right in front for Keller. The South Fayette team, very junior, senior heavy, but seeing some of those younger pieces getting involved. Makar with a pair of goals. Bryce Watkins, a sophomore, scoring earlier this game. Now we see Nathaniel Keller, the sophomore, getting a goal for the Lions. Ball moved ahead to Angelo Marino, or Mariano rather. That one goes over the cage. Back there, though, are the Lions. Mariano, the long stick. Midi for the Lions. Already starting to see a handful of reserves in for the Lions. Dylan Mash, sophomore. Gives it off to Max Joseph. He tries to spin around, furthers it up ahead for Nathaniel Keller, and he goes back to back. $17-0, Lions lead. The Lions on the year. High school total came against Trinity in a 20-7 win. Also put up a 19 spot on Greater Latrobe just a couple of weeks ago on April 24th. Gateway now with the ball. Opportunity here. Just trying to get a shot towards the net was Bo Ritson. A little bit of a roller in on Travis Watkins. He makes the easy save.
Watkins on that for South Fayette.
Now South Fayette quickly upfield. Transition offense. Chase Gabriel once again with a physical play defensively for Gateway. Trying to disrupt things on the back end. Slow the roll of South Fayette's high-octane offense. Talked about them scoring 16 goals per section game. They've continued on that pace again. Ball in towards the middle. Was deflected around, and then ball went into the crease. As a crease violation was called on South Fayette, Max Goss scoops it up. As Goss and company for the Gators look to push it upfield. Go towards the middle to number 26, Carl Jackson, looking for some help. He's off and running for Gateway. Goes into a triple team, loses the ball. Now in after Princeton White, can't get it for the Gators as Mash now for South Fayette. Will go back in and help set back this offense. Keller in the middle, he'll fire and score. Nathaniel Keller, the natural hat trick.
Nathaniel Keller.
A little bit of chaos in midfield, but eventually it is South Fayette that comes up with the ball, and Keller goes down, receives the pass, and dumps it back into the back of the net behind Goss. 18-0 South Fayette ahead. For Gateway, they were shut out earlier this year against Chartiers Valley, 15-0. Gators win this face-off, but ball back on the turf. Handful of Gators in the area trying to dislodge things now. 4 white jerseys around, just hacking away at it. How about that effort to hold on to it for Aiden Howarth? Ball goes out of bounds on South Fayette, so Gators able to get the ball back here. 7:48 to go here in the second quarter of play. But ball goes right back to the Lions. Jack Makar with the fake pass goes now down behind the cage with it. Nathaniel Keller on the loose ball, scoops it up for the Lions. Coming in quickly from behind. Max Joseph never saw Reed Davis flying in from the back end. As ball still loose on the turf. Max Goss trying to scoop it back into his crease, and behind the back, no look. Goes Ryland Carney. Unbelievable goal there for Carney. Look at this scrum inside. Gosh, just trying to get back into the crease. And Carney takes it and goes, whoop, back in, over top for the goal. Quick meeting between the referees down on the field. Goals stand. So Carney getting his first goal of the game, his fourth of the senior, the 5'9" junior midfielder. Reed Davis trying to bring that physical presence for Gateway here in the face-off department. And Davis's efforts lead to a turnover from South Fayette. So Gateway with the ball now. Under 7 to go here in the second quarter as Reed Davis tries to truck up field through a bunch of contact from South Fayette. Davis all by himself goes in. Whistle comes in. And ball turned over by Gateway. Just see this effort by Davis, but eventually that free hand there, you see just trying to wrap up that stick, give him some more room, but that whistle came in and ball given to South Fayette. So as this second quarter has progressed, Gateway definitely getting more physical, has led to a handful of South Fayette turnovers, but the Lions, remember, they're also bringing in a handful of the reserves already in this game. Number 6, Will McGee with it for Gateway, drops it back off. Offensive opportunity now for Gateway. Princeton White back to McGee. Middle of the field to Bo Ritson. One of the top emerging players for Gateway this season, the freshman. Ritson had a pair of goals against Trinity 2 games ago. Had a goal against St. LaSalle on April 28th. McGee trying to track down the ball. Gives it off to Torrin Ray, one of the goalkeepers for the Gators, playing on attack today. Has played a little bit of everything throughout his career for the Gators, has Torrin Ray. Opportunity trying to scoop it towards the net was Bo Ritson. Travis Watkins rather, the older brother of Bryce, the senior, was well out of his cage. So Ritson just tried a little sweep motion towards the net. Goes just wide. Nathaniel Keller in now down for South Fayette, and he scores.
Nathaniel Keller.
Keller down 4 goals on the evening. So much effort put in by Gateway, trying to just get one here. And for South Fayette, it looks so easy. Just a quick up opportunity for the Lions. And Goss unable to make the play. Point blank opportunity for Nathaniel Keller. John Oravex for South Fayette at the face-off dot against James Howard Alamine. Alamine, the junior for the Gators, number 20. South Fayette wins the face-off, up by 20 goals here in the second quarter of play. Just tied their highest output on the year. Talked about last year, South Fayette defeating Gateway 24-0. Keller with it now near side. Max Joseph tries to go inside. Ball bounces right back to Joseph, though, off of Chase Gabriel. Rylan Carney now delivers it below the goal line to Keller. Now around the horn for the Lions. Back up to the top. Liberator Number 25 for the Lions. Trying to push it inside, but stays and gives it to Keller down low. Romanelli now. Up around to Joseph. Joseph, Romanelli switch. Tries to go inside, trying to look for number 40, Jack Bavaro. But ball turned over right at the midfield line. Dropped momentarily by Elijah Johnson with it. Those bright orange cleats for Gateway. Ball hops out the stick, and Romanelli scoops it up and speeds ahead for the Lions. Carney off to the near side to Keller. Keller just going to back off. Try to take some time off the clock here in this second quarter of play. Pass inside from Keller goes off the stick of Joey Gubinski. Goss went out to challenge, but Gubinski out behind the end line turns it over for South Fayette. So now the Gators will slowly try to move it upfield. Sent up towards Tuscan Johnson. He can't get it in. So turn right back over to South Fayette. Tuscan Johnson whacking away at Logan Liberator. Deep down below, Keller with it. Dylan Mash now. The sophomore goes back down low to Joseph. Under 2 minutes to go now in this first half of play from Antamarino Field, Antamarino Stadium here in Monroeville, just off the Parkway East. For South Fayette, about 30-40 minute drive, barring any traffic out here. Lions content with just working it around here. Talked about earlier, Sean Leidig, the head coach for South Fayette in his 7th season with the program, has the Lions back-to-back runner-ups in the WPIAL opportunity in front. Goss, physical play though from Reed Davis, made it hard for the Lion to turn it on net. Another opportunity in front. This time it goes for Dylan Mash.
Dylan Mash.
So a scramble in front led to Mash coming in and getting that pass eventually and getting it to go for South Fayette. 21-0. Lions lead it for Sean Leidig's crew. Leidig, again, 7 years with this program. First year was in 2019, came after a deployment to Afghanistan, so didn't really get a chance to get with the team until about January, but has since turned this program into one of the top in the entire WPIAL. But now just looking for that coveted WPIAL title that has evaded them for the last 2 years against really tough Mars teams. Lost 16-5 in the WPIAL championship last year to the Fighting Planets. And in 2023, 16-7. Prior to South Fayette, Leidig had some stops at Baldwin, North Hills, among others. Baldwin graduate. But for the South Fayette team, 14-0 coming into this game overall. That Mars team that they've seen the past 2 years in the WPIAL finals, 14-2 on the year, so
with South Fayette on
Almost a
top.
collision course between those two teams. But at the end of the first half of play, it is South Fayette leading the Gateway Gators here in section play, 21-0. We'll be back in a few minutes for the second half of play from Anthem Marino Stadium on the Gateway Gator Productions. Welcome back to Anthem Marino Field, where South Fayette has a commanding 21-0 lead over the Gateway Gators as we get ready to start the second half of play here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. The South Fayette Lions, 14-0, leaders of the Section 1 and the AA classification. Gateway coming into this game 0-9 on the year. Team that averages roughly 4 goals per game, allows about 16 per game. Gateway just looking to do whatever they can to get on the board here. A little bit more of a spirited effort in that second quarter from the Gators, forcing a lot more turnovers, a little bit more physical, and a couple of opportunities down low in front. South Fayette off the opening face-off. Ball came up off the stick, but went right back to the Lions. Max Joseph with it now. For the Lions, he tries to find Dylan Mash. Off the end of his stick, rolls to a stop right along that end zone line here at Gateway. Far side now to Luca Romanelli as the Lions slowly moving the ball around. One of the top strengths about this South Fayette team, once they get going, really good at moving that ball around, finding those mismatches inside of defenses. Exactly what they did in that first half of play, and ball taken away by Colin Ireland, a long stick defender. Trying to get it upfield, but he'll turn it over right into the South Fayette bench. Lions making a goalkeeping change in between halves. Noah Quinlan now in the cage for South Fayette, the freshman goalkeeper. 5.3 goals against average on the year, .550 save percentage. Has allowed just 9 goals in 82 minutes of work, 11 total saves on the year. Replacing the starting keeper, Travis Watkins. Watkins, just about 1 save today. Gateway really only about 2 or 3 shot opportunities overall. Postseason action just about a week away, as Gateway will be done for the season after they finished up with Greensburg Central Catholic and then Alderdice on the 7th. Both home games will be senior night on May 7th against the Dragons. But South Fayette will continue their season into the playoffs, looking to make it back to the WPIAL Championship for the 3rd season in a row. WPIAL playoffs will start May 12th. Gateway continues just to work it around. No hurry at all for the Lions. Taking a look at the rest of the standings within Class 2A of the WPIAL, South Fayette in Section 1 leads that with Peters Township right behind them. 6 teams from each section make the postseason. So right now, South Fayette, Peters Township, Bethel Park at 11-6, 8-2 in conference section play. Penn Trafford 8-2 in section play. Chartiers Valley at 6-4. And then Franklin Regional right now at 5-4 with Trinity right behind them at 5-5, trying to lock up that 6th spot in Section 1. Over in Section 2, we talked about the Mars Fighting Planets, the dominant team in Class 2A. They're currently 9-0 in section play. Behind them, Hampton 6-1. Mars winners of 4 consecutive WPIAL championships, but pretty much going beyond that to 8 overall consecutive championships. That 2020 season canceled. So they have been the class of the 2A classification in the WPIAL, but behind them it's Hampton, I just mentioned, at 6-1, Swickley Academy at 7-2. In 3rd place, Indiana, Quaker Valley, Shaler wrap up the bottom 3 in Section 2, with Freeport at 4-5, but most likely done are the Yellow Jackets. Up in the 3A classification, it's Mount Lebanon, 5-0 overall. The top 4 teams in each section make the playoffs. Here's a shot in on goal. Goss may have gotten a piece of it, but went wide for the most part off the stick of Braden Tiley. Taking another look, Tiley just cutting in, brought the double team on. Goss went down to a knee, but went wide. So in that 3A classification, Section 1, it's Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair at 4-1, Cannon Mac at 4-2, and Central Catholic at 3-2. The top 4 teams there. And then in Section 2, that ball in on Goss. He makes the stop.
Nice save there by the Gators.
Take another look in as that opportunity coming right around the 25-yard line from Joey Gubinski, and Goss came up with the stop. But that Section 2 standings, Shady Side Academy in Class 3A, 4-0, 96 overall. North Allegheny, 4-1. Pine Richland, 3-1. And Fox Chapel, 2-2. With Seneca Valley sitting on the outside at 1-3. So Shady Side, North Allegheny, Pine Ridge, and Fox Chapel, the top 4 teams in Section 2 of Class 3A in the WPIAL for boys lacrosse. As we were just a week away from the start of boys lacrosse playoffs. And speaking of lacrosse playoffs, the men's lacrosse and the NCAA getting ready for the NCAA tournament. Robert Morris, nearby program, punched their ticket with the NEC championship win over Detroit Mercy. They'll take on Air Force out at Robert Morris in Moon Township, Pennsylvania on Thursday at 5 p.m. And interestingly enough, South Fayette, one of those Colonials on the South Fayette coaching staff, Bo Columbus, who won the NEC Player of the Year, part of this Lions coaching staff. So he'll be out in action, one of the top face-off specialists in the entire country. Absolutely excellent in the face-off circle for the Colonials. They'll take on Air Force, a team they used to play in the Atlantic Sun Conference. So if anyone is has lacrosse on their mind, some NCAA tournament action out in Moon Township, Pennsylvania, out that Parkway West. Not too far from South Fayette High School. Bo Columbus getting an early jump in the coaching ranks for the Lions here. 21-0, South Fayette leads. An opportunity turned towards the net, but knocked over was Joey Gubinski. Ball goes right back. Max Goss way out of his cage. It bounces, though, luckily right back to Gavin Matthews, the defender, long stick defender, 6'5" for Gateway, but he loses it trying to get towards midfield. So a handful of turnovers, gives it back to South Fayette. With 3:30 to go here in this third quarter. No scoring yet here in this third quarter of play. South Fayette taking the foot off the gas here. Just working around, letting their reserves get some action in here. Working on the ball moving up against this Gateway defense. Gators just trying to look to force some turnovers and give their offense some opportunities. Max Joseph now far sideline for the Lions. Rylan Carney now trying to find an option up top. Goes to Luca Romanelli. Ball momentarily on the turf, slipping up. Was Braden Tiley. Ball comes out now with a stick on that far side and picks it up. Was Chase Gabriel. Timeout called by Gateway after picking up that loose ball by head coach Dan Alexander. So Gateway going to take this timeout, settle things down. Take this opportunity, try to get it across midfield. You see that other opportunity, that ball just out on the ground. Both teams looking to get it moments ago, but we'll step aside as these two teams take a timeout here. South Fayette leads it 21-0 here late in the third quarter on Gateway Gator Productions. Welcome back to Antamarino Field here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Gateway High School as the Gators taking on South Fayette. And WPIAL Boys Lacrosse, the Lions ahead 21-0. But Gateway just coming off a timeout from head coach Dan Alexander, just giving his guys a breather here. Gateway with the ball, way back deep in their own territory. Maybe trying to draw something up here, get it across midfield. That ball loose on the turf and flying in to grab it. Number 22 for South Fayette, Braden Tiley. So that opportunity quickly evaporated for Gateway. As the Lions now just no hurry look to take this one to quarter's end. Logan Liebertor now with it, goes low. Talked moments ago about Robert Morris heading to the NCAA tournament with South Fayette coach Bo Columbus, a part of that team, part of the Colonial roster. Head coach Sean Leidig wanted to try to get out for that game, take his whole program and team out there, but the Lions have a matchup with Greensburg Central Catholic that evening at 8 p.m. on the road. So unfortunately, that conflicting game not giving the Lions an opportunity to see their coach out there on the Division I field. As we're down to the final 5 seconds of this third quarter, South Fayette will take a 21-0 lead now to the fourth quarter of play. As we'll be back here in a moment from Antamarino Field on Gateway Gator Productions. Fourth quarter of action set to begin here from Antamarino Stadium between South Fayette and Gateway. Lions lead at 21-0. Taking a look back through our scoring summary, started pretty much right away from Braden Rygard. Just 42 seconds into the game, Rygard with a quick hat trick in that first quarter. Ryan May with the second goal of the game, followed by Bryce Watkins and Matt Joseph. And then it was Drew Walhorski getting on the board, the leading scorer for the Lions with a pair of goals. Pierce Hondrew with a pair of goals. Then Makar, Daniel Specca, and Braden Tiley closed things out for a 14-0 lead for South Fayette after the first quarter of play. And then it was Makar again in the second quarter. Then Nathaniel Keller had 3 of the next 4 goals for the Lions before Rylan Carney had a little behind the back over top of his head goal. And then Dylan Mash scoring as well for the Lions to make it 21-0 before half. No scoring in that third quarter of play. And South Fayette pretty much holding possession for a majority of that third quarter of play. A couple of bounces led to Gateway getting the ball, but really nothing came to fruition across midfield. A couple of turnovers. Max Goss continues to defend the cage for Gateway, getting the start today. Goss against Seton LaSalle came up with 9 stops. The game prior against Trinity had 4 saves, while Torrin Ray had 9. Ray has been hanging out towards midfield for a majority of the game, playing attack today. Allowing Max Goss to start in cage. Max Goss the junior for Gateway. Had a couple of good saves early on in that first quarter, second quarter of play when South Fayette was really pouring it on offensively. Battle for this loose ball. Gateway trying to do whatever they can to come up with it. Colin Ireland able to scoop it up and gives it off to Goss. Out behind the cage, and South Fayette will retreat. Goss looks to fire it well downfield. Trying to haul it in was Carl Jackson, but the Lions prevail on that ground ball battle. Opportunity in front. That one off the leg of Goss with the stop. Logan Liberator, point blank, had an opportunity. Goss now well out behind his cage, has to get back as ball's still loose for South Fayette to grab, and they do. South Fayette, team that's really done a strong job when it comes to scooping up ground balls throughout the season against Franklin Regional in that 15-1 win on April 30th. 46 total ground balls. Have to be getting near that number. Don't have any official stats for this game, but definitely up there again. Had 30 ground balls against Cannon Mac and a 15-8 victory in a game that drew a Horsky. Here's an opportunity in front and a goal for Logan Liberator. That one just too good to pass up for South Fayette as Liberator found all alone. Right in front of Max Goss, makes it 22-0.
Goal Lions, number 25, Logan Liberator.
Logan Liberator, his first goal and first point of the year for the junior midfielder. So feeling pretty good down in there on the bench. You can tell that South Fayette team wanted to get him on the score sheet, and they do. Gators battling there at the face-off circle. It's Princeton White, who's been a mainstay down there, turned into one as a junior for the Gators this year, trying to give them some offensive opportunities. Quick opportunity in, Max Goss with the save. Quick forming possession and opportunity for South Fayette, and Max Goss able to come up with the stop near midfield, number 50. Gavin McCarty drops it. This leads to an opportunity for Gateway, and they score, finally breaking the shutout. It's Bo Ritson.
Number 14 for the
A turnover at midfield led to the quick up for the Gators. And Ritson way upfield. Pass gets in behind Caden McShane. And it was Ritson all in alone, one-on-one with Noah Quinlan. And he does not make a mistake on that one. Gators break the shutout. That turnover upfield led to that quick up, that long up too. It was a long pass to get through that defense. Gateway shutout last year against the Lions, 24-0. That will not be the case here today. Princeton White trying to work it through. Gateway with another offensive opportunity here. Trying to double it up. Bo Ritson, little stutter step. He'll try to get a shot in. Goes wide, but the last one back is Ryan Cruz. That one well wide of Quinlan. Rolled through the top of the crease. Bo Ritson trying to just get whatever he could on the net. Now Ritson well behind the cage. Ritson surveying his options. Now cornered back into that end zone. Tries to get it up off the stick of Mason Schultz, the long stick defender, and Mason Schultz comes away with it for South Fayette. So that second straight opportunity for Gateway comes to an end. But Ritson turns it over. So now quickly ahead for South Fayette. In on goal.
Goal, South Fayette, number 43.
As Joey Gubinski puts it in.
Gubinski.
Couple quick passes from South Fayette leads to that opportunity for Gubinski. Gubinski, his first goal of the year, another first for the Lions. He's been at it all game long since that second quarter. Gubinski, the senior. His last couple of meetings been quite dominant between these two teams in favor of South Fayette. 2 years ago, 25-2 victory. A couple years before that, 16-1 in favor of South Fayette here at Antamarino Stadium back in 2022. It's been a tough journey for Gateway since just about that COVID season.
Number 1, Colin Ireland.
Their last win for this Gateway program coming back in 2021 on May 1st. Went 2-15 that year overall. Gateway trying to look for an option down low. Torrin Ray had really nowhere to go. Just try to throw it to someone, hoping someone was in the area as he was blanketed by a defender down there behind the cage. Leads to a turnover. .340 to go now here in this fourth quarter of play. South Fayette gearing up for another deep postseason run. Coming off of back-to-back championship appearances. Losing to Mars in both those games and a deep run in the PIA tournament a year ago, winning their first 2 games, but once again ran into the Fighting Planets in the semifinals, losing that game 20-10. And then Mars went on to the championship game, but fell in that one. Some really strong WPIAL teams. This opportunity and a goal for the Gators. It's Carl Jackson. What a shot by the junior midfielder. So he came down that right side, out-racing a handful of line defenders, and he just got that shot in low on Noah Quinlan, and it goes past for the goal.
26, Carl Jackson.
Could see by that celebration, that one felt good for Carl Jackson to see that one go in. Anyway, trying another opportunity, but knocked down by that long pull of Mason Schultz. Get it ahead, but turned over out of bounds off the stick of Nathaniel Keller. Colin Ireland trying to speed up field, met by Keller. A couple of physical jolts. Will McGee with it. Drops it, picks it back up in the defensive side. He airs it deep downfield. Carl Jackson after it. He scoops up the ground ball momentarily, tries again. Fought on for it. Jackson gets some help there by Ryan Cruz. Kind of gave him some positioning there. Goes inside, trying to look for Torrin Ray. Jackson still after it with Quinlan out of the crease. But Noah Quinlan now with it. He'll look up ahead, ball on the turf. Still after this, now a ground ball battle ensues. Jaden Joyner with it. But eventually South Fayette comes up with it on the back end. Number 30 turns and throws it in. What a goal by Aiden Howarth.
Number 30, Aiden Howard.
Howarth just turned it and fired in the back. You see that pass inside and then grabs in midair, spins and scores for South Fayette. With under a minute to go now in this contest. There's one final face-off set up with the clock ticking. That mercy rule been enacted since the beginning of this second half. After that onslaught in the first, 21-0, South Fayette led after the first 2 quarters of play. No scoring in that third quarter, but since South Fayette with 3 goals in the fourth, but a pair of goals for Gateway from Bo Ritson and Carl Jackson to get the Gators on the board and at least break that shutout from occurring here. But South Fayette takes it 24-2 over Gateway, a Section 1 victory in Class 2A for South Fayette as they continue the roll on their undefeated season. Now up to 15-0 on the year, 9-0 in section play for South Fayette. They'll head on for their season finale against Greensburg Central Catholic on Wednesday. Gateway, 2 more games on the slate for them against Greensburg Central Catholic tomorrow, and then Alderdice on Wednesday for Senior Day. Both games here at Antamarino Stadium. Nathan Bryson here saying so long. Thank you for tuning in as South Fayette takes this one by a final of 24-2 over the Gateway Gators from Antamarino Stadium in Monroeville, Pennsylvania.